when the Prime Minister pulled the switch, the town centre was basked in a lovely glow of pale cream light. Now, this sentence could have been written in a different manner as well, but this is what the writer, the speaker, chose at the moment of speaking it. What's the essential information? Well, because it says when in the beginning, that gives you an indication, and this comma, it gives you an indication that this is background information. And that's what all this is an adverbial. In essence, it's the centre was basked, and this tells you how it was basked. Now, this then is a sentence which has a subordinate clause when the Prime Minister pulled the switch, because there's a subject and a finite verb in the adverbial there too. It could have been written differently. It could have been like this instead, and it would have, in that case, you would have had two clauses of equal value. So had the sentence been written like this one here, then it would have been clause 1, a coordinating conjunction, and clause 2. So clause 1 you would have analysed the Prime Minister pulled the switch, and clause 2 would have been the town centre was basked in a lovely glow of pale cream light. Now, as it is, this is not the case, so I'll move that one out of the way. Looking at this then, we do the first divide, subj, pred. This is my own pedagogical way of getting this organised, purely because a predicate exists, and then traditionally people talk about the subject. But in this subject, I've got both an adverbial, when the Prime Minister pulled the switch, and the subject, the town centre. So let's open that up. That's the town centre. Subject is realised as a noun phrase, and within it there's a determiner, a noun, and another noun. This noun, it functions as an adjective telling us more about the centre. I could have broken this further up by writing pre-modifier and head, but it was a short noun phrase, so not necessary here. In the adverbial, we have a subordinate finite clause, and if we were breaking that down, then this would be a subordinating conjunction there, and then we have here would have a finite clause, and then I do the subj and the pred again and break this one down. Okay, let's not go that much in detail because the Prime Minister pulled the switch isn't really difficult per se. Alright, now in the pred we've got the predicator here, and we've got an adverbial complement. Now why is it an adverbial complement? Can you stop it? The town centre was basked. Now you could see this point in two different ways. If you see it as it is, that you can stop it basked, then this would be an adverbial. If you look upon it as in a lovely glow is something that you must have, then it would be an adverbial complement. So it depends on how your perception of it, and I would allow both as being correct if it was an exam situation. I'm going to look at it as an adverbial complement. It's an adverbial that you must have. So what kind of a predicator is it? Well, that depends on the nature of the verb itself. So was basked is this an intransitive verb, or is it a verb which does bask tell you more about the centre? Is it a subjective predicative? In a sense, you have to think about the nature of the word here, basked, and as such, that's it's a verb. So what we have here is this is a verb phrase, and there are two verbs. In that verb phrase, there's the finite verb, which is an auxiliary verb, and there's the non-finite verb, which is the lexical verb. and this is was, and this is basked. Now, this is not a subjective prediction because you have another complement, another clause or element on the right-hand side, which we perceive as being the adverbial complement here. And how is that adverbial complement realized? Is in a lovely glow. So this is the prepositional phrase, and that prepositional phrase has a preposition and a noun phrase in a lovely glow, and then later on you break that down, and within that you have another prepositional phrase. Okay, and if I was going to break that up for you instead, then you'd have this would be a preposition and a noun phrase there, which would be taking it down one step further.